Hi, and welcome to the second episode of Virtual Whiplash. So, I have a guest on. This guest will be coming for this episode and a few other episodes too. It'll mostly just be me, your host, and maybe some other people, but it'll mostly be just me and Harry. Say hi, Harry.
Name's Harry.
Yeah, his name is Harry.
My name's
Hi.
Harry.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Say hi.
I said hi. I
Okay.
said hi.
Harry's microphone's a bit weird right now, and it's like cutting in and out, so
Really?
he might be a bit weird.
Oh no.
Okay. So, what we're talking about today is VTubing versus animation. The similarities, the differences, what's better for you, what's better for your wallet, what's better for your... or what's more bang for your buck, which is basically better for your wallet. But I'm dying. But who knows, maybe your wallet has feelings and wants to help you. Okay, so we are approaching this from the perspective of young, passionate creators trying to make a name for ourselves. Okay, let's just briefly explain what animation and VTubing are, and what type of VTubing and animation we're talking about, just to get all of that out of the way. So, with VTubing, we mean virtual YouTubing, although it's more streaming. So it's getting your character, getting a 3D or 2D model, or sometimes even just drawings and pictures, and then doing something in real life, and then a part of your body or like sound or something being tracked in the actual like show or in the actual like model. So if I'm moving my head right now in real life, you can't see me. I might be some creepy crazy person. I might be like on the run. I might even be Barack Obama. You never know. But like, because I have this model now you can see me for this model, but not me for me. So when we talk about VTubing, we'll mostly be talking about 3D VTubing. We won't mention 2D as much, as 2D is kind of being... This is a controversial take, but it's being a little bit more phased out, and 3D is becoming a bit more exciting than 2D. 2D is a bit more traditional, 3D is a bit more new and fun and quirky. So most of the time we'll be talking about 3D. Unless we'll talk about 2D sometimes though. With animation, on the other hand, we'll be only talking 2D. So Harry can talk about that for a second.
Okay, so 2D is basically 2D animation or animation itself. We're just talking about 2D today. Is basically a bunch of drawings / frames put together to trick the eye into thinking it's moving. That's basically it.
Yes, it's pretty simple. We all know it. We all love it. It's animation. Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll mostly talk about classic 3D VTubing and animation. For, like, 2D animation. Not 3D animation, that's a different thing. Okay. Topic breakdown. We're first going to be brushing on the topic of creative expression. Which one's more creative, which one's cooler, which one will make you feel more you while actually having a virtual version of you. So, the pros of animation are basically, you can create anything. You can create characters, you can create worlds, you can create physics-defying moments, just anything, whatever you want. And you have complete artistic control with frame-by-frame storytelling. Harry, do you wanna expand on that?
So basically, unlike VTubing, you can create a guy with spaghetti hands in a world that's made of toast or made of marshmallows. Or the guy could be made of spaghetti, but moves like a rock.
Yeah.
So you can make anything.
Yeah. But that can sometimes be annoying because, okay, so the pros of VTubing with creative expression is it's a bit more spontaneous, and you have like live interaction with audience. You express your character through performance, voice, movement, and reactions. Not so much. So like, if I was to throw a ball right now, in animation, I could throw a concrete ball and it could bounce and hit me in the head. With VTubing, I could throw a concrete ball, I wouldn't know what's going to happen next. It's kind of like there are like physics and math and all that computer science that happens to calculate where that ball is going to land. I am not going to control any of it. Even right now, as I move my head, I have a brief idea of where my head is going to go, which is right. But I don't know how much right. I don't know if it's going right by 300 pixels or 400 pixels. I don't know any of that. It's all spontaneous. What I'm doing right now, I have no idea what's going to happen next, which has pros and cons. They're both, like, if I was to throw a ball and I was, like, in animation, I'd be like, oh, it'd be funny if it hit my head. Let's do that. With animation, it's a bit more, oh, it'd be funny if it hit my head. Will it? And that's why VTubing is more done, even though it's like tubing, which is like more YouTube, it's more done streaming because it's very spontaneous and it's a very like, what's gonna happen next? Not even I know, and I'm the streamer. Ooh. Where animation is a bit more YouTube and those sort of platforms purely because it's all about, I know exactly what's gonna happen next and I'm gonna tell it to you, but make it engaging. Do you agree with that, Harry?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have some like questions from either AI, some I've made myself to talk about, or just some from viewers. So, discussion prompts. Do you think VTubing or animation, which one gives you more freedom in expressing your creativity?
Well, I feel like that both have a sense of creativity and freedom, but I also think that animation really like sets it out because you can do pretty much anything, while VTubing is a bit more realistic. What about you?
Yeah, so what I think is actually VTubing has its creative aspects, like building your model and like making a background and a whole like brand and everything, but really there's a lot. I think creativity, as a total, animation wins that. Like, you have freedom with VTubing, and I can go wherever I want, but especially with 3D VTubing, it's a lot more limited to, I know what's going to happen next, and it's a bit more, what's next is exciting and new, and I'm not creating it. There is some creative expression, there is a lot when you're creating your model, but not a lot when you're actually streaming, unless you have some sort of persona when you do that. But I mean, it can be if you draw on stream and stuff, but most of the time I think animation wins. So yeah, I would probably say animation too.
Yeah, fair.
Has there been a time where you've ever wanted to merge the two? That's another question.
Well, you can really do that in like animating and streaming. You can do like Jen Animation sometimes does that with her VTuber model. And yeah, I think you can merge it, but I don't know if I would. Would you?
Yeah, so the thing about that, right? So merging it is just screaming a different type of VTubing called PNG tubing. So if you guys are watching this, you're probably already VTuber nerds, I won't explain all of it to you. But basically, PNG tubing is getting a 2D model, but not making it like a normal 2D model. Because when you have a normal 2D model, it's all like, this is 2D, I can move wherever I want, and I have full, like, 60 frames per second. With PNG tubing, it's you draw the model. So it's kind of not as spontaneous, but it's a bit more creative, and it doesn't mean you need all the tech and all the expensive stuff you need for VTubing, which we'll talk about later. But basically, the thing about VTubing that's kind of takes the crown, is that you can merge both of them by having this PNG tubing, which is where you can have animation and VTubing. I think it's a bit more lent to the VTubing side, whether like VTubing with like while doing an animation is a bit more lent to the animation side. A more VTuber side is, yeah, like having an actual character that you draw and create, which is PNG tubing. Although it's not fully animation because it's not tricking your eye into seeing I'm here, and the frames in the middle. It's a bit more like blocky and stuff. So you could just say it's kind of drawing and VTubing, but like, yeah, it's kind of both. Okay, next question. What's something you could only do in animation but never pull off in VTubing?
Well, spaghetti arms. I mean, like, that's like a big thing. You can also making those spaghetti arms move like a rock, or if they're like a feather moving like a rock too, or make it look like it's dancing too.
Yeah, so like, there's quite a few things you can only do in animation, and a few things you can only do in VTubing. I think that kind of covers it all. Okay,
Yeah.
This is a question exclusively for you. Have you ever tried animating a scene and thought, this would just be easier to act out live?
Well, maybe back when I was starting off, but like nowadays, my scenes are a bit more elaborate. They're a bit more eye-catching, and they're a bit more like funny or fun. So I think if I do that in real life, I'd break a couple bones, and I don't want to do that because that's an owie.
Hold on, you're saying this like you've been animating for like more than a year.
I have actually.
Wait. Oh wow. Wait, it has been that long.
It has.
Oh my
I know.
god.
Time flies.
Time flies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, this one's just for me. Does using a VTuber model limit your character design in any way? That depends if you have money. Okay, if you have money, you could do whatever you want with your VTuber avatar. Look at... I'm dying. Look at Saba. Saba has a crazy VTuber model. It's like so cool, so expressive, so unique. If you have money, you can really do anything. Really, you could make anything normally in a VTuber avatar. I would say animation would actually limit your character design more, because if you want a cool cat girl or like cat guy sort of character with like, look at all these like swirls I have on my character, all these like intricate, like look at my shirt, right? Like let me put my hands up so you can see. It's like so like big and crazy and like textured and stuff. You can't do all that with animation. I mean, you can, it'll just take a million years, because you have to draw this exact same thing 3,000 times, or copy and paste it, which will kill you whenever you have to move and make another version of it. So I would actually say it does limit it, but not as much as animation. I think animation limits a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Can do a thumbs up now. Thumbs up,
Yeah.
everyone. Hand tracking. Woo! Okay. Next question. Okay. Which medium feels more like your voice? Creatively or literally? That's a good question, actually. That's a really good question.
I don't know. I think animating speaks to me a bit more than VTubing, because I just feel like creating a world and creating like this whole universe and creating my character and creating other characters too is really fun and enjoying, especially when you get to see the final product and see how flowy it is and see how cool it is, and you can say that you made that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that animation speaks to me a lot more than VTubing. What about you, Kenzo?
Okay. So, which one feels more like my voice? Okay, so I've done both animation and VTubing, so I know, like, I mean, I haven't done as much as Harry, that's obviously why he's here, but, like, I think I know a little bit about animation. And I would say what feels more like me is VTubing, and I only say that purely because VTubing has some perks that animation doesn't, and you can kind of, like, you get those moments where you're like, wow, hold on, I'm an actual digital thing, this is me, I made this is kind of crazy, and it feels like me, and it just feels like I'm representing me. So I guess that's kind of feeling like my voice. So I would say VTubing, but I mean, I guess that question kind of depends on the person.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Okay, now we're going to do a whole ramble with Harry. So Harry's going to be rambling on for a bit. Skip to here if you don't want to see his ramblings. I hope I get that timing right. But yeah, he'll talk about, like, traditional hand-drawn versus digital drawing, like, per frames. Which one's more expressive, which one's more time-consuming, which one's more used for, like, YouTube skits, animatics, the grind of redrawing everything, why it's amazing for personal style, and if you've ever felt burned out doing too many frames, that sort of thing. He's going to talk about that now.
Okay, so why don't we start off with describing all of them? So, traditional is basically drawing a bunch of drawings and paintings, and then putting them on cells, which you can put in front of the camera to make them trick the eye into moving. So that's traditional. Now, the thing about that is it's really time consuming, especially, and also it's not very used nowadays. It used to be used when computers weren't that good, so we had to use alternatives. And nowadays we're getting better. Like in 2D, we can make a whole world by drawing on computers and all this stuff. And I think nowadays, traditional animation isn't really the best now, and it's just way too time-consuming. 3D animation is a lot newer and a lot more harder to do, as you need to make a rig model, and you need to set it up, you need to pose it. It takes hours upon hours upon hours, as does all animation. which is a lot time consuming, but usually indie animators only use 2D as it's a lot more easier for them, as they do not have the backing of a huge company. So that's why 2D is such a big industry in YouTube and social media platforms. And animatics are usually used in 2D. Movies, like in the Disney movies, they're usually 3D, and old Disney movies are usually traditional. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. We should
Okay.
also talk just a second about, like, also the bad thing about the olden timey. Oh my god, my hand. This is what I'm talking about, the spontaneous stuff, right? Like, I put my hand here. I don't actually know what's out of frame, but it is. So my hand's gonna be like doing all this weird stuff. Like, that's so spontaneous. So that has benefits and non-benefits. Like, I move my face, I get all this like physics happening in seconds, and you guys can all see it as I see it, and it's all so cool. But if I do this and that happens, I don't know that's gonna happen. It's funny, but like, oh. If you guys are watching on the podcast version and not the video version, I'm sorry, but you don't get to see my hand go crazy. Okay. So yeah, with 2D frame, with 2D like animation, the olden timey 2D is also not used as much purely because of your painting, right? So you have water and ink stuff, and then when you're doing all this painting, it makes all these like bumps and ridges. So when you have like bumps and ridges on one like painting or one cell, and then the next cell is like not bumps and ridges because it's like a different type of like it's a different paint, and then that paint dries differently to the first paint, it can look a lot finickier. So that's why computers are mostly used as well. Okay,
Yeah.
now we were just talking about time investment. Now we're going to talk about time investment more. So we're talking about time investment in terms of how much time it takes to like set up these and then also use them. So like how long it takes to set up animation, how long it takes to set up VTubing. So with animation, it's very time consuming when you're actually doing it, because 1 second of animation can take like hours and hours on end. And it requires storytelling, editing, and polish. Harry, elaborate. You're a Pokemon
Okay,
now.
so animating is a very time consuming job or hobby, because you need to draw consecutive frames or drawings, thousands upon thousands, just to make a short form video.
Oh
And
my
it could
gosh,
be
wait, hold on.
super
My
time-
camera's spinning a second. I don't know why it's doing this. Ah, help! Okay, continue talking. Just everyone ignore me.
Okay, um, so yeah, it's really time consuming because of all the drawings you have to do, and if you want to make it look good and snazzy and colorful, it's going to take even longer because you have to sketch it, you have to put in the line work, you have to paint it, you have to get the shadings and highlights right. That all for one single frame, and then do that thousands upon thousands of times just to get 4,000 frames for a 3-minute video. It's very, very time consuming, which is a very big con, but also is a great hobby. What about VTubing?
Could you talk about the story, like, how does storyboarding work with animation?
Okay, so
Like, Is
storyboarding
that time consuming?
well, it's just drawing out what you want to do. It's basically putting your script or your story in your mind onto a piece of paper and bits of drawings of the different scenes to help you in the animation process. Make it a little bit easier for you, so you don't have to go by the fly. You have something to go off on.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So with VTubing, it's very different. So it's faster to produce once the model is ready, right? Like if I told Harry, hey Harry, do this entire like 1.5 hour podcast on animation, he will die. Like, yeah, he will just explode. But the thing is, when I am actually doing all of this on VTubing, I can do that because once everything's ready, it's like all these books are like stacked up, and then like a pin, and then a ball, and then like from like Dr. Zeus where there's like all the random stuff. So if you touch one thing badly, it'll all like come crumbling down, and we'll talk about that later. But it works, kind of, and it's not as finicky as some other things, but it means that it's really easy to produce stuff once the model's ready. Keyword once. So setups are very annoying, take a lot of time, need much technical knowledge, and very fiddly. So when you're doing an actual setup, so you need like a lot of things, and you need a lot of softwares, hardware. There are like so many levels to it, which I'll talk about later in other episodes, how to do VTubing. If you guys want to see that, leave a comment saying hamburger in all capitals, just hamburger. So people who are like watching this have no idea what you're talking about, just full capitals hamburger. Okay, so also, because I'm doing this in a live format, I have to do a lot more video editing and repurposing for YouTube. So I have to like be editing a lot more clips and a lot more like this. This is our hour-and-a-half podcast. We're recording this on the 4th of July. Whenever this comes out, it'll probably be like a week later or something, purely because of how much video editing I have to do for this. With animation, there is some video editing, but it's not actually that crazy. Or, like, that much. And requires somewhat editing, polish, and storyboarding. So, storyboarding can work, but mostly because VTubing is streaming and, like, playing a game and doing whatever you want. It means that when you're VTubing, you don't have a lot of time to, like, make anything happen on script. Because, like, you're not going to go into a live server on, like, Minecraft or an SMP and then say, alright everyone, choose a role, here's a script, follow this, I have to react to it like this is fully storyboarded. Like, it's not how it works. You just have to go with the flow and hope something funny happens, and if it doesn't, you have a bad stream. Oh no. But yeah, I think it's a little more time consuming at the start, but it will pay off later on. Especially if you do the rig yourself and you do the setup yourself. Because if someone else does your setup, then once something goes wrong, and I say once, not if, because something will go wrong, you're not going to know how to solve it. And you're going to be like, oh no, I have 14 different, like, systems on my computer. 12 of them are viruses, and I have no idea how to operate any of them. So it's really good to, like, do it yourself too. Okay. Now, to the discussion prompts. Someone said, which feels more sustainable long term with school, family, friends, a job, etc.?
Well, I think feels more long term is I think more VTubing, because animation's just so time consuming, and once you've finished making the VTuber rig and model, you only need to stream and video edit like a couple times a week. But with animating, you need to keep on going and going and going just so you can get out a video, so your platform has a good schedule rate. I think that I'm pretty sure that's all.
Okay, ladies, gentlemen, and adjudicators, I am here today to inform you that Harry lied.
Really?
Tisk. Yeah, okay, so when I stream, right? My streams don't storyboard or have a script, but I am spending so much time behind the scenes choosing the games I'm going to play. And that's why when you see VTubers play games, they can afford, like, big high budget people, they can afford all the games and way more. They could easily be able to be like, alright chat, tell me 30 games in the chat and I'll play all of them. The thing is, choosing a game is so damn hard. You have to do so much market research and stuff to see what games will actually perform well, what games are part of your channel, what games will suit your brand. So I am spending a lot of time behind the scenes choosing the actual games I'm playing, and that's why I play the same games a lot. Or free games, because I didn't have a choice back in the old days where I could only have free games. Okay, there's also, like, the thing with the video editing, which is, I'm not going to get into that much, but it is very, very time consuming. I'm normally video editing when Harry's animating. But yeah, it has a lot of hidden stuff that you don't think about until you actually get into the profession.
Oh, okay. Fair.
That's what I think. But for more sustainable long-term with full school, family, etc., I would say definitely VTubing. And the VTubing community is very, like, small too, so there's a lot of people you can actually talk to. which sounds weird that it's small, but there's a lot of people you can talk to. I mean, it's small, like, as in the amount of people who are in it, so everyone knows the struggles you're going through. And everyone knows, like, you have to spend 30 minutes explaining to, like, your teacher what VTubing is and why you have to, like, leave early. Or, like, explain to your job profession, hi, I'm doing my debut stream today. The first question they'll ask is, what's a debut stream? The second thing they'll ask is, what's VTubing? The third thing they'll ask is, what's hand tracking? The fifth thing they'll ask is, what's body tracking? They'll just keep on asking more and more questions. Every answer leads to more questions with VTubing. That's, quote me please. That's
Never ends.
Yeah, it never ends. What takes more hours per minute of finished content? Definitely animation.
Yeah, if you go like a week non-stop, you're gonna get about 2.5 minutes of animation. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is nearly 2,500 frames. Fully done, fully line art, like got loads of line art on it, it's got loads of color on it, it's got highlights and shades on it. That is 2.5 minutes of all of that.
Yeah, that's...
So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, people don't really understand too. You're not just drawing one frame and then going to the next one. You're drawing, like, a concept of a frame, then the next one, then the next one. That takes, like, a month. And then you gotta color it all in, shade it, and render it. As well, which takes, like, 5 more months. And that's why a lot of animators take a long time. And that's why people like Me Who Tells Tales and stuff can release their videos so much, because they have rendering and stuff. Their animation is still very hard, but they don't have as much color as some other animators, which means they can release stuff more. And I mean, their art style is really pretty and stuff, and I'm not trying to take anything away from them, because they have great content. I'm just saying that some other people take longer because they have color. And I'm not saying which ones that's better if they have color or worse if they have color. I'm just saying some take longer with color. So try to not take that the wrong way. Okay. So what's your longest animation take versus your longest VTuber stream?
Should I go first?
Yeah, you go first. Sure.
Okay,
With a guess.
so I'm pretty sure my longest one was 3 minutes. 3 minutes 5 seconds, which is
no,
4,000. What? Pardon?
I think they mean like your longest animation, like the period to create the animation.
Oh, okay, yeah, that took like 5 months.
Yeah, but say your actual animation though too.
Oh, my longest, like the name of it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there's one on my channel, HJ Animations, called My Animals. It's 3 minutes and 5 seconds, which is, I think, 4,200 frames, maybe? Yeah.
Damn. So
Something like
how long did that take you?
5 to 4 months, I can't remember.
Damn, that's a lot of time. My longest stream was 7 hours and 7.5 hours.
Yeah,
That
I
was-
think I do.
That was a long stream. That was like the entire day.
I know.
That was crazy. Which one eats into more of your life without you noticing?
And I don't.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a good one. Stroking
say
my
animating,
imaginary
but-
beard.
I would say
That's
animating,
good
but
one.
you know, you're aware you're drawing. More like when you're V2, you're kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so what
What is
I would say is, I would say what would take longer is animation by, not, I don't think actually by a long shot, it would just take longer. Without you noticing, like subconsciously thinking about it, definitely VTubing. I'm always thinking about, hey, that's a game, or I'll watch something and I'll be like, could I turn that into content? I'll always be thinking of how I could turn something into content. Why that person's doing that I'm not. Hey, that's actually a really cool anime character. Obviously, I can't turn Attack on Titans into content, but how do they make that character so good? I wonder. And then, like, it takes a lot of your life out of, like, it sounds bad, but it's not that bad. Like, you still have fun. You still have fun. Okay, the next question is, have you ever had, oh, this is taking too long, I give up moment with either?
No, not really. I went into it thinking I really went into it thinking that it was gonna be a long time for me to get it done, but I didn't realize how long, but still I thought, well, when I get this done, it'll be way better. So yeah, I don't think I really had one of those. I had like some moments when I thought about it, but I don't think I really had one of those. What about you?
I've had too many of those. Especially with streaming with 0 viewers, which I took. Streaming with 0 viewers is so annoying. And it just kills you and it demoralizes you and it's so humiliating. And it just feels like you're talking to an empty crowd and using all your energy. Especially if you've done like a full persona and everything. And you're being all crazy and energetic. All for nothing, because no one's watching. It's very annoying and very... But the thing is... Yeah. So I've had many times where I've been like, this is too much. I'm getting no views. It's taking too long. I'm getting no progress. This is doing nothing to me, my channel, but like take the average views down. So I'll just stop stream for the day. And I mean, sometimes giving up is a good thing to do, because if I was to continue those streams, I would just probably die and no one else would join. And like I'll already be in a bad mindset and use up all my energy, so there's nothing I can really do then, apart from be like, hi guys, I've been on for 8 hours, I'm not giving up. So, I mean, there's definitely been times have quit, like a stream, because it's been just really unsuccessful. And that's normally because of the actual topic, or the time I'm streaming. If I'm streaming at a really bad time for people, then, especially like, if I'm playing a, like, okay, let's say I'm playing a game like American Truck Simulator. That's a game that if you're in America, you'll probably want to watch, because it's about American trucks. It's a game that fits that demographic normally, and it also means that that's a game that like is kind of like looks like America, so you can kind of relate to it. It's a very relatable, fun game for Americans and people around that area. So then they'll be like, okay, we'll go watch this. But if you're streaming when all the Americans and everyone in that area are asleep, then you're not going to get as much views because no one wants to watch it. If you're doing a game on, like, popular Japanese... let's not say Japanese, because that's actually really popular with pop culture, but, like, Turkish, let's say. Like, there's a game on Turkish street food. People from Turkey are going to want to watch that, because they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember eating that. Oh, that's so yummy. Also, that's how you make that. But people who don't actually appreciate that cuisine so much, or aren't exposed to it so much, won't watch those videos because they're not that interested in it. So it's the time as well. And yeah, I've definitely had so many I give up moments. Okay. If you had 1 hour to make something cool with a PC that just got Windows, which medium would you choose and why? That's a great question. We should get more questions from viewers. All the viewer questions are great.
I think animating. Because if you get like a software only takes like 10 minutes to get. And then if you're good enough, you can just make a little stick man dancing. That's pretty much it. Because you can't make anything too big. If you make something too big, you're not going to get it done. So you got to go shoot for the stars, but the stars are low.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But I would actually think you could do VTubing. The only thing about VTubing is like you'd have to get open source everything. It's like boom, open source model, boom, open source like OS system, not operating system, but like apps and stuff. Like boom, like a quick room, boom, quick everything. It wouldn't be that good because you just use the like like the normal things, and you wouldn't get many views for having such a boring model and such a like normal thing. Yeah, so I would definitely probably choose animation. I would think that's also better. Especially with like if you're like what setup you have too. If you just got a PC, it doesn't have like a webcam and all that cost and gear. That's a smooth transition into our next like subtitle and like thing we're gonna ramble about. Cost and gear. See how smooth my transition was? I'm gonna do that next time. You guys aren't even gonna know we're gonna transition. That's how transition and smooth it's gonna be. Woo! Okay, anyway, cost and gear. So with animation, there's softwares that don't cost a lot of money, and some that cost a lot. So there's like a big thing with animation with software. So there's like softwares like Toon Boom, Adobe Animate, or Blender. Like Blender's free. Adobe Animate costs quite a lot of money, especially if you're gonna get the entire cloud. If you're like a graphic designer as well. So a lot of animators do graphic design for their channel. I don't think Harry does. But that's
No,
like
I
normally you
don't.
get the Creative Cloud if you're doing create like if you're a student in school, I'm pretty sure if you get the Creative Cloud, there's a discount too. But
Yeah, there is.
yeah, but like when you're normally doing it, you normally like get just Adobe Animate. I don't know how much Adobe Animate costs just by itself, but I'm pretty sure the cloud is around $200. Don't take my word for it. This is per month, by the way. But yeah, some softwares cost a lot of money, some don't. That's what I'm saying. So you also need like a drawing tablet, stylus, very good audio equipment because a lot of people are watching animation for the audio. I've seen that happen a lot of times where people just don't think about the audio that much and just use whatever's around or buy a really crappy mic. Normally you need like a full boost for animation. And there's a low PC needed. I'll talk about PC specs in a second, and the PC specs they think you need, and the PC specs you probably need, and all that stuff. That's later. Harry, elaborate on all the things I said. Pokemon, I choose you.
Okay, so yeah, your studio or your software you want to use is probably more when you're starting off a free one, so like OpenTunes. Let me think of another one. I think Pencil 2D. There's a bunch more. You don't want to choose like, oh, and Blender, but you don't want to choose like Adobe Animate or Toon Boom because those guys like Adobe Animate for just without the Creative Cloud is $104 a month.
Damn.
And with the student discount is $24 a month, so it's still a lot of money. So yeah, I would choose when you're starting off a free software. As for tablets, the usual price like mine is around $300. But really it's like 200, 300, 400, and then 1,000, then 1,500, and then 2,000. That's basically the price range of tablets. So there's no in between 400 and 1,000. There's not many there, and if they're there, it's they're not very good. Also, with the pens usually come with a tablet because they need to be calibrated with the tablet, but those still cost $100. And then also you need the glove so you don't smudge your tablet, and you also need the pen holder because you want your pen to work. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than the PC, that's pretty much it. And yeah, low PC, all you need.
I'm sorry. I'm making a frog. I have a frog right now on stream.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, look at the frog. It's a frog. He's like down there being a frog. I don't want a frog. He's kind of dumb though. No one likes Froggy. I'm sorry, Froggy.
It's okay.
I'm being mean to Froggy. Okay. So because you were just talking about PCs, we'll talk about PCs now. Specs. So for animation, I'll talk about the minimum. And by minimum, I mean the minimum amount of stuff you need to animate. And by that, I mean, like, you're literally drawing small dances, rendering them for, like, 5 hours, putting them onto, like, YouTube, then deleting them off your software, and then getting a new one. It's, like, this is, like, the bare minimum of what you can run with. So, Ryzen 5 3600 or Intel i5 10400. I don't know actually how to pronounce the Intel chips because I've only done AMD chips. For the GPU, like a GTX 1650 or Radeon RX 6500 XT. RAM, I'd say 16GB DDR4, although that depends on what software you're using, because a lot of them are more RAM intensive, so you'll need 32GB, or DDR5. I'm pretty sure Harry's actually running DDR4 right now, 16GB DDR4 right now. For storage, 512GB SSD, and an SSD is probably a need because you need to actually load software and assets at a fairly fast rate. Display, 1080p monitor with color accuracy is a big bonus too. I know it doesn't seem like much, but if you get one like monitor that's secondhand, been used for 1,000 years, and there's like maybe an OLED with like many ghosting issues and stuff, what looks like a really nice pastello shade of brown to you could be like a really bad, really trash shade of brown to like everyone else. So try not to do that, and you also sometimes need a drawing tablet and good cooling. But most of the time, if you're being that budget, you probably use like a mouse or something. This is ideal, so this is what you'd probably hopefully get. So that is the AMD Ryzen 55600X or the Ryzen 5800X or Intel i9. So fairly mid-tier stuff. RTX, yeah, I can't speak. RTX 3060, 4060 or better. Harry is running a 4060 right now. I don't actually know why I know his build so much. He got a pre-built, and I was very mad at him because I'm a PC nerd, and I know all the PC specs, and he got like a really bad PC, and I was very mad at him. Like, grr. A terabyte NVMe SSD, and a monitor 144p or higher with a great color profile, or good, depending. Now, basically the minimum for VTubing is the ideal for animating. This is exactly what I was talking about before, where it's a bit like, hey, I'm doing animation now. I don't need that big of a PC. But then VTubing is just like, oh god, the price. So for VTubing, the minimum would be 55600G or Intel i5 12th gen with an RTX 3060 or GTX 1660 Super, 32GB DDR4, DDR5 hopefully, but DDR4 is also okay for it. For a camera, you normally use like a webcam. Logitech makes these webcams. I don't know what they're called. I have one right now I'm using. I'll put a picture of it up, hopefully. They make really good webcams that work really well for such a low cost. So you can use one of those. You don't need that good a webcam. Like an iPhone with Face ID, if you get one of those, like, cool iPhones with, or like Leap Motion and stuff, those sorts of things are really good for VTubing. Sadly, I don't have any of those. And, 512GB SSD. So this video will probably be running OBS and VTube Studio, recording yourself and then uploading it. Like, more of shorts than live streaming. Because I don't expect you guys to run, like, Cyberpunk 77 on max graphics with, like, ray tracing and, like, DLSS, like, frame regen, on this. That would be kind of sad. And also break your PC. So for ideal, this is actually kind of my build. So Ryzen 7700X or Intel i9 13700K. Those are both really great options. I use the Ryzen 7 now. RTX 4070, I have an RTX 4070 overclocked edition that works perfectly. And 4070 Ti. I actually recommend you overclock your GPU because you're not actually going to be VTubing with, like, you're not going to be using your GPU all the time for everything, only when you're live. So it can be really good to overclock it because it's not actually probably going to reach the needs of overclocking only when it'll only reach that when you're live, and that won't be a lot, so it won't actually take away from the GPU a lot. My RAM is 32GB DDR5. That's a great, like, option. And extras is an iPhone with, like, VTube Studio, iFacial mocap. Dual monitors is a lifesaver, definitely get that. I don't know if you would you say you need that for animation? Dual monitors?
Well, not really. I mean, like, if you want a tablet and a monitor, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Or like references and stuff. But dual monitors are only if you want like I have a dual monitor, but I only use that because I'm gonna watch a video, have a reference, and also be animating. So that's pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely say it's
just
a need for VTubing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, why it's a need is because you're going to have OBS open and you want to see your chat, so you'll have your chat open with OBS. So that's two applications already, that's fine. Then you have your VTube application and you kind of want to see what you're doing so that you know if you're, like, messing up or breaking or anything. So then that's 3, it's a bit much. And then you have your actual game, which you need, which is 4. And then the 5th one is just any other, like, Spotify or anything that's playing in the background. So you have, like, 5 applications open at the same time. So one, you need a good GPU for that. Sorry, CPU for that. And secondly, you'll also need, like, probably a second monitor. I don't have a second monitor with me at the moment, which is actually kind of bad, and I probably should get one. And then, obviously, like, yeah, hopefully GPU coding enabled on OBS, too. That's actually really good, like, NVENC. But yeah, those are PC specs. Back to normal, stupid, like, us messing around, and, okay, so with cost and gear for VTubing. Model commissions, that's the thing we need to talk about. Those can be very expensive, around $3,000 just for the model. And if you spend, and that's American too, that's American money, not Australian money. If you're in Australia, which is where this podcast is being filmed, different story. But that's around like $3,000, and that's a lot of money to spend on a digital thing that goes like left and right and up and down, and that's around it. So you can make it DIY via Vroid, which can either be done in 3 seconds and look like every other Vroid avatar, or you can use like Vroid and Unity and Blender to make a really great character, but that can be very, very time consuming and annoying and glitchy. Like right now, let me show you this, right? If I smile, right? I want to smile. And I talk, my jaw dislocates from my face, and that's not very nice. Because I don't know about you, but I like my jaw working. That's a normal thing for human beings to have, and I like it. But yes, so I would actually say, it takes a lot of money, especially with your PC too. That costs a lot. Mine cost around so Australian it costs 2.8 thousand. How much is that American? Let me Google that actually.
Google always knows.
Google always knows. Oh wow, okay, so it's 1,800. So $1,800 US, 2,800 Australian, and yeah, you can kind of acquire from there. So it's very expensive for the model. That can be very annoying, but like I kind of hate my model. Once you create your model, you'll probably hate it. I don't actually know if that's just me. Actually, it might be, but it's like super non-expressive. Even when I have VC face open, which is my other like thing I use for tracking my face, and that actually has like I don't have to manually change my face myself. Because right now I have my stream deck where I'm changing my face on. I don't have to do that on there. It automatically does that. Even then, it's not as expressive. It's like kind of bad. It doesn't work as well. Like if I squint and stuff in real life, I can't really do that as my character. It's just very... I hate my character basically. And you might hate yours too if you don't get a commission. But commissions cost a lot. So maybe it's better hating yourself than spending $3 million. Okay. Now to the discussion problems. Which one looks cheaper up front? Versus which one actually becomes cheaper long term? What do you think, Harry? I've been talking for a lot.
Oh, well, I don't know, because like if you're gonna get like a VTuber commissioned, then it'd probably be more VTubing without the PC. So I think
we'll talk without the PC.
VTubing with is it gonna be commissioned or not commissioned for VTubing?
Yeah, like having a commission, having like a fully commissioned character.
Yeah,
that's
because
like...
that costs a lot. If it's not commissioned, I think it'd be more cheaper for VTubing, but if it was commissioned, it'll be more animating, because animating still needs all this equipment and stuff. And if you're gonna get a very good software like Adobe, it's gonna be a lot of money. So yeah, I think if you're gonna get commissioned, it's gonna be cheaper for animating, not commissioned, VTubing. What about you?
Wait, no. I think you mean that the other way around. If you're getting a commissioned character, you're saying it looks not cheap up front, but becomes cheap long term. And with animation, it's cheap up front, but not cheaper long term. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I would say which one looks cheaper up front would be animation, if you do your research in both of them, and what actually ends up being cheaper long term with all the hidden sneaky costs, I would also say animation. The only thing is there's a lot more subscriptions in the animation world. There's a lot more subscribe to this, subscribe to that in the animation world. With VTubing, it's a bit more buy this giant thing that'll cost more than your lungs. It's like sell your kidney to buy this. But I mean, it's not that hidden cost. It's not gonna like be a subscription. You're gonna get it, and it's gonna be great. Although you can get really addicted to buying models, like Alto has. She's like, those sort of VTubers have gotten really addicted to buying a lot of models, and that can actually take away from the VTubing experience, and having a brand that like you associate with something when you have all these different characters in all these different ways. But we'll talk about that like in other episodes, and I think I talked about it a bit in my last episode. But anyway, next question. What's the most expensive thing you've bought just for animating or just for VTubing? I say we take that without including our PCs, because those will be like the most expensive if we include our PCs. Without my PC, it's definitely my stream deck. I would say my stream deck is like, now I have it. It's hard to live without, and it like helps me so much. And it's probably it was fairly expensive. It was around $100 for it. What about you?
Well, up front, before I got Adobe, it was my tablet. But now I have Adobe, it's definitely Adobe because it's $24 a month. Ugh.
That's not that much. Also, you just revealed to everyone you're a student, so that's like an OPSEC fail.
It's okay.
He's in university, guys. I'm not a pervert. I'm not like interviewing some like really young kid. I'm not crazy.
Okay.
You're crazy. Okay. So, do you think people underestimate how expensive animation actually is? That's a question for you, I think.
Definitely. But also I underestimate like animating itself. Like I've had people come up to me and say, "Oh, you do animating? Well, I can do animating better than you. Watch, in a week I'm gonna do exactly what you do, but better." And I come back to them in a week and they're like, I'm finished. I don't like this. So yeah, they definitely underestimate animating itself and also the cost of animating. Definitely.
I feel targeted because I did that.
Yeah.
I did exactly that with one of my animations. I was like, okay, that's kind of trash. I want to make my own. I'll come back later. And I had so much progress the first day. I am not kidding. I made a minute of progress. That is a lot for animation. And that was... If I was to continue that grind, it would be so easy for me. The thing is, I was in this car the entire day coming home, so I had the full day to do it. And then since then, I was just VTubing and stuff, so I lost that bet. Okay. Next question for us. Would you rather spend $500 on a VTuber model or animation software?
Well, what type
$500 wouldn't go...
$500 on Adobe would not go very far.
Yeah, it'd be like a few weeks. Not weeks, a month.
Yeah. But also on a VTubing software, it would no, on a VTuber model wouldn't go very far either. Would it?
Yeah, I would say because you could get like a solid amount of time for free with like Adobe. So I would probably say I'd go animation with that. Go to the animation area.
Yeah.
So Adobe Animate is $23 US.
So that what would that be? Thinking
23.
That'd actually be like a 2 years, 2 or 3. Might actually be a couple years actually. Yeah, probably animating. I think animating a bit more than.
Getting America. It's $35 Australian.
Oh, okay.
That won't last you that long, but like if you get the student discount and stuff, it'll last you long enough. It'll give you a little taste of animation and what it's like a few months. Probably create like one animation in that time, or like quite a fair bit of an animation. So yeah, I would probably say animation for that. $500 doesn't go far with VTubing unless you're like buying a stream deck or any hardware like that. If you're buying a microphone for both, I guess, but once you get into... Okay, so here's the thing with microphones, right? And I'll talk about this more in other episodes and with other people. I plan to get an audio expert on this. But the thing is, right, when you have a microphone, you get to around $150, and then it becomes, I'm buying a microphone to I'm buying a set for a microphone. It becomes like, you're buying a microphone, then you get to this cost where you need to buy a microphone and then an actual, like, I don't know what's called, like an aux deck. Like one of those audio decks that you need to manually configure with all the knobs and stuff. And then plug that into your PC, or plug that into a filter that plugs into your PC. And then you do a whole bunch more stuff in OBS to make it sound good. So you kind of get to like 150. It kind of goes like 2 cents microphone, 3 cents microphone, 4 cents microphone, $1 million microphone, because like you need to get an actual set. So it would go far, $500 with a microphone set, but it wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, okay.
Which feels more budget friendly to start but more expensive long term? We kind of answered that with the which one looks cheaper up front versus which one is cheaper long term.
Yeah, so well, I think
we might skip that.
Long term cheaper, especially if it's commissioned. Definitely VTubing.
Yeah.
Animating, especially if you have a software like Adobe, not cheap at all. It's really not cheap, and oh my god, not cheap enough.
Although once you get into like the higher things, right? So we're, like I said at the start of this, we're approaching this standard from young passionate creators trying to make a name for ourselves. So obviously that means we are solo/indie creators. The thing is, if you're an actual like high tier person part of a corporation, it kind of flips on you. So it's more expensive long term with VTubing because all high VTubers get the newest iPhone all the time. And that can be very, very expensive, buying a $2,000 thing every year, basically. And with animation, it's around, like, a software, and you get, like, the company version, which is around $1,000, like, for the whole year. So I would say it flips on you when we go, like, into, like, up into the business area of this. But we're talking about this from indie, and we're talking about this from small indie creators. Yes, so now we are into here, there's one more question we have. What's one small tool or app you couldn't live without in your workflow?
Basically the software, because I have all this stuff, but without the software, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, I would
sit here and move the mouse.
Yeah, I would say what's a really underrated thing I couldn't live without is actually what's it called? The shaders for my character. Like, having my character have all these outlines, like, hold on, let me zoom in and go to the side. Like, see these actual outlines and stuff? They are so cool. Let me see them all. But basically, all the outlines on my character make it so that when I'm, like, up close and personal with you guys can see a lot more. And you guys actually discover a lot more about my character and my avatar. So I would actually say the shaders and the outlines of my character are, like, a really annoying thing to do. But once you do them, they make your life so much easier and so much funner. Okay. Now we're talking about topic 4. Oh, wait, I need to do a transition. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, it makes... So, like, having all these outlines and stuff shows personality and audience engagement. Speaking of personality and audience engagement, that's so stupid. Okay, so anyway, personality and audience engagement. I said it 4 times, so it must be important. So for animation, I would say there's no need to show yourself or even speak if you don't want to, but it's harder to build a parasocial or live community. What do you have to say about that, Harry?
Yeah, it's really, like, I mean, like, when you're VTubing, it's... You're there, your face isn't there, but you're there, you're live, you're interacting with them. But with animating, it's really just you, behind the scenes, being the director. You're the director, and you're directing this animated character, or actor, in front of an audience. So you're just behind the scenes, pulling the strings, so no one gets to see you. But in VTubing, I think that what you are the director and actor. You come out, you're there, you do all the stuff, but you aren't behind the scenes. You're being seen. You get to interact with the audience, while animators don't get to do that, which is a downside to being an animator. What about you? Well, that happens to me all the time.
Oh my gosh, I was muted, I just realized. I just said, no! How long was I muted for, I wonder? Hopefully it wasn't too much.
Yeah. Do you see little me?
Hopefully.
Little me.
Okay. So, yeah, I would basically say what you said, is right. But, so, with VTubing, right, there's real-life audience, like, real-time audience engagement, and real-time audience interaction, meaning you get, like, a stronger build with your community, like, you know your community, but it requires on-camera confidence and consistency. I agree with that a lot. That is, like, everything I was basically going to say. So, when you're live right now, you don't know who's attending your stream, especially when they say something like, hi, I love your model. You know they're going to be, like, some sort of salesperson, because that's always what they do. They, like, say, hi, I love your model, and it's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Then 2 seconds later, they'll be like, it's trash. Wanna buy mine? And then they'll, like, try to sell you some sort of model for VTubing and stuff. That happens a lot, especially if you've got a VTuber and you're a very indie VTuber. You get all these, like, I'm not gonna call them beggars, but all these starving artists, basically. And I'll talk about that later in other episodes. But, when that happens, it's like really annoying, and it means that you need to have the confidence to say, I'm sorry, no, I don't really want a character, or just stop talking to them. And that can be very, like, crazy. And especially if you get some crazy people on chat too. I've had that a few times where people have, like, tried to send crazy things on chat, and I've had to, like, mute them or time them out and stuff. Or people are just ruining the entire vibe for chat and make it all, like, really bad. That's really annoying. So, there have been, it requires a lot more confidence. It's basically like, okay, think of it like this, right? Animation is, you are behind a curtain, and it's like shadow puppetry, right? So you're kind of like, you have this light on the curtain, and you're doing all these hand puppets and stuff, like, making like a snake go across and eat like a rabbit, and then the rabbit dies. Poor rabbit. That's basically what animation is. With VTubing, it's, you aren't behind the curtain making puppets. You take the curtain, you rip it down, and now you're wearing it. And everyone's seeing you wearing this curtain. They're seeing you, but they're seeing the curtain. They're loving the curtain, they're not loving you, but you are the curtain, so they're loving you. It's like, that sounds really weird, but think about it, right? You are this, like, crazy thing that's just jumped into their lives. You're, like, trying to be all, like, crazy. I mean, unless you're, like, a vibing sort of chill character. You're, like, grabbing these curtains, you're ripping them down, and now you're wearing them in front of everyone. There's the curtains were shielding you, and now you're wearing them. So now nothing's shielding you. It's a lot. You have to have a lot more confidence to do that. But it does mean that you get some benefits, like a stronger community and all that stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you get like a parasocial live community. Okay, now discussion prompts. Okay, so does it feel being your character? How does it feel being your character live versus animating? Like the character.
Ooh, well, it feels a bit more isolated and more lonely when you're animating because you don't have a live audience in there watching you. While when you're live or when you're VTubing, you can still like do drawing streams, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you're way more watched. You get to see people in real time watch you do things you love and compliment you, or not compliment you, which is the bad part, but still, you get compliments sometimes, and it's very rewarding. And it's really hard for animators to have that, especially because they only get that in the YouTube comments or in the comments. And half the time, people just watch the video and go on with their day. Unless they're a troll or a really nice person. So, yeah. It's kind of hard to be an animator and feel like you're doing this feel fun and feel like people are watching you doing this. Yeah.
That also happens. I mean, especially when you're like very small, it can happen with like just any sort of live streaming. But that's different story for a different time. But yeah, I think being a character live is a bit more like, yeah, you're in stage, so it's a lot more. I'm not in my comfort zone as much as normal, and I'm a bit more, like, thinking on the spot, doing all this. My brain is way more active. When I'm animating, right, like the short time that I did do animation, it's a bit more like, okay, I can kind of animate, I can, like, see, like, what's this character gonna say, I wonder. Oh, yeah, this. And then do it, like, look out the window for a bit, just chill. When I'm doing, like, VTubing, I, like, close my door, my cat can't get in, and my door is broken anyway, so my cat can get in. But they don't know that. They think the door is closed. I have to, like, find the actual where the sun's gonna be for the rest of the day, so I can turn my blinds down, so I don't have, like, 20 seconds where I'm out of my chair and just saying, guys, hold on, while I turn my curtains down and stuff. It's like, being your character live is a lot. It's, like, a very, like, complex thing versus animating, which is a bit more start and stop with it. But they're both, like, they both have their hardships and good ships. And ships. Alright, next question. Yeah, and ships. And ships. Okay. Which one feels more mentally taxing or vulnerable than... Now, does one feel more mentally taxing or vulnerable than the other? It's a good question. We're getting all the good questions from viewers.
I really think this is a very two-sided thing, because there could be two sides to vulnerable and mentally taxing. Like, the loneliness part of animating can be very, very mentally taxing, which is pretty hard. But also, I think when streaming, especially when you have no viewers and you're just starting off, it can be extremely hard to do that. So I think there's two sides to this, and I think both of them have their ways of being mentally taxing and hard to do. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like, I basically kind of agree with that. It's just like, whenever you're live streaming, there is a lot of hate and discrimination and anger you're gonna get. But also, like, one of the things that can kill you as an animator is whenever you release a confession video. So if I'm, like, trying to tell everyone I'm trans, right? Like, just as a random topic. And, like, everyone in the comments is asking, like, what's your gender, and I'm just saying a random topic, and I'm saying I'm trans, right? If I say it on my VTubing thing, I'll be like, guys, I have something to tell you, and then that'll last, like, 3 minutes of me telling them this, and then after that 3 minutes goes, I'm just like, alright, back to the game, oh my gosh, this is so fun, and kind of, like, have this minute where I'm on the cliff, and then get back into the gaming and, like, fun stuff. But when you're an animator and you're like saying, hey guys, I'm trans, then you release the video and then you have like a week of, oh my god, this is like so crazy, this is so mentally taxing, I don't know what's gonna happen next, and my viewers gonna hate me, I'm gonna lose everything, blah, blah, blah. So it's like different parts are mentally taxing and different parts are more vulnerable than others in certain ways or forms. So yeah, I think basically what Harry said is a double-edged sword, but just like in certain ways. And it's like doing anything and trying to get popular with it is mentally taxing. Like there's never been a time that anyone's been like, oh, I guess it is what it is, I got popular. Like, okay, this is another topic that I'm gonna make a video on, and I'm probably gonna name me a time, where, and it's, okay, so basically what I'm saying is, name me a time where a rich, famous person who everyone knows, like, we could say Bruno Mars, we could say, like,
Kanye
Billy...
West.
Okay, sure. Billie Eilish, Bill... what's his name?
Gates.
Oh, yeah, Bill Gates, that's the guy. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos. I'm not agreeing with any of these people or their ethics or anything, but I'm saying that name me a time where a rich person has said it is what it is. A famous person has said, there's never been a famous person that has said it is what it is, because they have had to fight their entire life to be where they are right now. But that's another video for another time, for another day. Okay. Do you feel more seen when you're animating or VTubing? That's a good question.
Definitely VTubing, because animating, it's very lonely and isolating because of the fact that you are behind that curtain. But in VTubing, you're live and have a presence in your community a lot more than you do than in animating, and you get more sense. They get a more sense of your personality instead of the character's personality. How about you?
Yeah, I would say around that. I just think they're both kind of isolating. And when, like, someone's not gonna go to you in public and recognize you as a VTuber, that's not how that works. So it's a bit, like... It can be a bit... It's a bit double-sided here. It's like... Yeah, I don't really think any of them have, like, been more seen animating or been more seen VTubing. I think they kind of live on the same. Okay, does being live as a VTuber ever make you act differently? Absolutely, all the time. That's persona. That's what we have to talk about later in other videos. Persona is great, and Mari Yume, a great VTuber, talks about this a lot. Shout out to her. They always talk about how, like, persona works, how you should build a brand off of your persona, and how you should build a persona with your brand. But yes, all the time. I am not this expressive, I'm not this crazy, I'm not this... In real life, I'm a bit more chill. I'm actually kind of like this in real life a little bit, and some people say
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm a little gremlin in real life, and some people don't like it, and that's very annoying because some people don't like my energy. But yes, all the time. I am definitely like way more bouncy and crazy as a VTuber as I normally am. Okay, next question. Is animation, this is one for you, is animation more pure because it's not based on a persona? Ooh, I mean...
Well, there is a persona in animation. I mean, like, your character, like, you gotta build a character, and you gotta build the persona of the character, and I would say that that's, like, a like a part of me. Like my character that I've built and created and made and have lore for is like just a part of me, but it's not fully me. So I think I don't really know, but I think it's a bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, like, you have a persona when you're animating. And, like, I think not most people do. I don't know how that would actually work as much as I do VTubing, so I can't really talk about that as much, but I think you do have a persona, and you do have some sort of you-ness when you're doing, like, some sort of not you-ness. Like, some sort of, it's not me who's doing this, it's like a actual, like, fake me, basically. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done animation for that much, so I don't know that much about it, but yeah.
It's also, I think, like, how you recognize that persona of you is more of that persona is not when you're animating, it's the character that you're animating. All that persona that you put in is into your audio. So, like, if I was to record audio for me, it'd be a lot more different than what I record audio for my character, because my character is different to me. It may be similar in some ways, but it is different. So that's basically, I think, animation personas.
Okay, next question. Do VTubers risk burning out faster because they have to stay on all the time? Absolutely. I think burnout is never talked about in the animation world and always talked about in the VTuber world. I don't think that's just an oversight. I think that's just generally what happens. It's that VTubing risks burnout a lot more, especially when you actually gain a community. If you start with a debut too, that can also kill you, because then you're streaming a lot of the days, and then people are messaging you on Discord. And like, okay. I love my viewers. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. You're the best. But when I'm being texted on Discord on private chat by 12 different people all at the same time, it can get very annoying. And especially when these people on Discord who are texting me all the time, I have to get, like, only seeing me for my persona, I have to be like, okay, what would my persona say? And I have to get into this, like, happy, crazy mood. And if I'm just, like, trying to sleep and you're, like, from, I don't know when about who, you're like in like Europe or wherever is the opposite of Australia, and I'm trying to sleep, and then you guys text me at 12 o'clock at night, and I'm awake still, I have to be like, oh, hi. And normal time, if my friends are texting me, I was like, brother, go to sleep. Shut up and sleep. But when someone's texting me, and it's like on Discord and stuff, I have to be all like, my character. And my characters are like, hi, I'm so sleepy-eepy. Ooh, tee-hee-hee. I'm not like that, actually, but like, yeah, I do think they risk it burn out faster, and you always have to be on, especially with such a live audience and such, like, engaged people in your brand and, like, VTubing this. Okay. Yes. Which one feels more emotionally rewarding when someone loves your content? I think animation.
Well, because it also is that you spent, like, and don't get me wrong, VTubing, especially at the start, is like you take a lot of hours off your time just to do VTubing. But with animation, that is constant, that is all the time, just to get one thing done. And then to hear someone in the comments say, oh, I love your videos, they're so cool. It's very fulfilling. It's like, it makes your day. It just to know that someone out there likes your stuff and tells you about it, because it's really lonely when you're doing animating, and so when that happens, it's just amazing.
Yeah, I would say, like, when I'm VTubing, I've been, like, told my model's great, or they love my personality and stuff, and the thing about that is, yay, thank you so much. But especially when they're saying stuff like that, I'm like, not thinking, oh my god, that's so nice of them. I'm thinking, okay, they said that, how can I respond? How can I continue this as a conversation? How can I engage them as a viewer of my live stream? When you're commenting, right, you're not actually saying, like, when someone comments on your video, if you're doing an animation, like Harry's video on, like, I love pets, or something, let's say he makes a video on that, and they're like, okay, I love pets, and they say thank you for this content. I love it so much. I'm gonna like favorite it and love it, and it's the best. Harry will say something more like, oh, I think he'd say something like, thank you so much. Thank you, and then leave, right?
I'd more say, oh, I'd say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and then leave.
Yeah. With VTubing, it's a different story. It's like, thank you so much, and then keep on talking about everything else. It's kind of live streaming versus YouTube now, because it's a bit more, okay, time to talk about something else so that they can be interested in what I'm saying. You don't, like, when someone texts, I love your content, you're not kind of saying, thank you, what part? Thank you so much, tell me where. Thank you, write a 500-word essay on why you like it now. I want it to be done by the end of the day. You're like, because, like, you do that with VTubing, not to, like, a 500-word essay sense, but to a, like, thank you so much. Do you do VTubing as well? Do you like it? So, I guess what I'm saying is, VTubing, like, when someone comments on your channel, or, like, says something really nice to you, you take it as a compliment, but then you move on. And try to keep them engaged. You don't take it as a compliment and then continue talking to them. Like, and I mean, like, you continue talking to them, but you don't take it as a comment and then just stop talking to them. Okay, okay, now we're on to number 5. I was trying to turn that into a really cool, like, segment, but it didn't really work, and because I forgot what the topic was on, so I was just freestyling. It's on skill development and career growth, so I was way off. Anyway, skill development and career growth. So with animation, it teaches industry-relevant skills with storyboarding, editing, and sound design, and great for portfolio building. Harry, expand. Go Pokemon, expand.
Well, animation has a lot to this because there is literally colleges for this. There's colleges and there's works, there's jobs, Disney, Pixar and stuff that you can go to work to, and building your portfolio online and social media, and also growing on social media can attract some eyes. So like, if someone is like a big YouTuber is saying, like big YouTube animators, like, can I have some animators to help me out? I need this and this and this. And they will look for you. They'll look for some candidates, but also you'll have to actually like go for it too. But building your whole portfolio on social media, like in YouTube, like creating your banner and portfolio pic, your description, and also all your videos, you can just use that into your portfolio and add some other things that you've done. Other things like
okay,
thumbnails.
you never need to make a job portfolio. Please don't make me your job portfolio. Because okay, so if you're okay, wait, isn't your description like, hi, I'm Harry, welcome to my channel? Because if I did that, right, if I made my like description and banner part of my job portfolio, my official thing that the employers are gonna see, it's not gonna be little anime girl. It's gonna be more of like a sort of thing that I'm doing. Like, that's where with animation that's really easy, but with VTubing it's a lot more like, I'm never putting that on my job description. I don't want them to know I'm like a little anime guy doing all these anime things.
Yeah. I think VTubing's very not for job description.
So I have here that VTubing teaches branding, public speaking, streaming, editing, and is good for influencer/media paths. I don't think you're going to go down an influencer/media path with too many followers and stuff from VTubing. I don't think that does that much though. Streaming and editing, definitely. If you're like, I've edited 3,000 hour things for my like VTuber account, I wouldn't mention my VTuber account, but I'd mention the videos that I animate. Public speaking, I guess, but I mean, when you're public speaking, you're not always going to be freestyling. Sometimes you're going to have a script, sometimes you're not, right? So if you're like a politician view or any of that, sometimes you're going to have a script, sometimes you're not. So it means that whenever you're doing actual like public speaking, I guess you could also get public speaking skills from animation because you have a script and you're rehearsing the script and then trying to say it to a wide audience. It's just different branches of it. Animation's more of a scripted public speaking. I'm doing more of a non-scripted public speaking. And it teaches branding, definitely. If you're doing VTubing, like, with a lot of, like, technical knowledge and all that stuff, it definitely teaches branding, especially if you're doing it by yourself and all this other stuff. I actually need to make a logo for my thingy, too. But, yes, there's also opportunities for collab, sponsorships, and affiliate income, which is where you get money for being an affiliate, so getting money on Twitch. So yes, I think there's a lot of opportunities when you're doing VTubing, if you're going down the VTubing path. But if you're going down a different path, it's not worth, like, it's not good at all. Like, I am not going to put, like, VTuber on my job description. I'm not going to say, like, even if I was Fillion level, I would not say I'm an anime girl on my job description. It would be something, like, I might mention it briefly as, not as a VTuber thing, but even if okay, maybe if I was Mr. Beast Big, I would do it, but normally I'll just be like, I won't mention VTubing at all in my job description, or in any, like, sort of, like, job sort of application. I would never mention that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, discussion prompts now. Which do you think builds more transferable skills? We kind of already answered that. It's basically animation.
Yeah.
Long story short, animation. Okay, next.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one path for the next 5 years, what would it be? That's a good question. I would definitely say animation. If I like enjoyed animation as much as I enjoyed VTubing, and I had like the full animation display and enjoyed that sort of like style, definitely animation because of the like the job opportunities and all that stuff. But because I like VTubing better and VTubing's like funner for me and I get all this cool stuff and I've already set everything up, VTubing.
Yeah, it's fair.
But if I was even progress on both fields, it would definitely be. Yeah. Which skill set do you think is more versatile for future jobs? Kind of already mentioned that too, animation.
Yeah.
We kind of mentioning all of these.
Animation.
Do you think VTubing is legit to put on a resume? I've already answered that. No. If I was Fillion level, no. Maybe Mr. Beast level. Like, if I was, like, one of the top creators on the platform, I'd be like, yes. Yeah. But, like, if I was Gra level, maybe. Like, maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not. Probably not. What's harder to learn from scratch? Animating well or streaming well? Oh, can I answer this one, actually? I got a good idea.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, okay, so, for all you Star Wars nerds out there, it's a bit like the dark side of the Force and the light side of the Force. Let me, yeah, so, think of, like, a line going straight up like this, right? It's just, that's animation. That's the chart for progress with animation. You slowly build better and better and better and better and better, and then you get to, like, the peak. With VTubing, it's a bit like, you don't have a model, you have a model, and then it's along this path until there's like a little like hard part to get up to. So it's kind of like VTubing is the dark side of the Force and animation is the light side. Don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not saying that's like VTubing is the bad side. I'm just saying that like the light side of the Force is like, for all you Star Wars nerds, it's a lot more like easy to go up. Well, when you're doing VTubing, it's a lot more like faster, quicker, more seductive, so you'd want to choose that, and then you go up, and then you kind of stay at this level that's not very good. So while like animating is down here and I'm up here, it slowly comes and I can't do anything, then it exceeds me. So it's kind of like weaker but more faster, unless you get good at it and you start like watching these sort of podcasts and seeing this sort of content, then you start going as much as animation, or even more. Hopefully more, or even more. Okay. Do you have any thoughts to say about that, Harry?
No, I think you pretty much said all. I think that's pretty much all we needed to say. I think you did it.
Yeah. Okay, if you had to teach someone one of these, what would be easier to teach? Ooh, yeah, like that chart I was talking about before, I would say animation.
Yeah, because, well, in animating, you don't have to be able to draw well. Like, you can still create a stick man.
You just have to be able to draw a lot.
Yeah, you just gotta have the will to draw for countless hours. It's just, I think it's more about will than about, like drawing-esque and how good your drawing is.
Wait, so you would say that VTubing would be easier? Cause...
Oh no, definitely animating.
Okay.
Because you have to make a rig.
Yeah, it would be really hard to like teach people the actual like tech needed, especially if they're not techie people. That would be a nightmare. Okay.
Grandpa.
I could definitely teach people though. I could definitely do like a masterclass or something. That'd be fun. Comment if you want that. Comment hamburger or hamburger. Just hamburger twice if you want me to do that.
Comment cheeseburger.
Actually, yeah, comment cheeseburger instead. So hamburger if you want me to do the thing I was talking about before that I forgot about now. Cheeseburger if you want me to do this. Just all capitals cheeseburger. Okay. Which one do you think will evolve more in the next 10 years? VTubing, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm sorry to say this, but animation hit its peak like a few years ago with Jaden Animations and Odd Ones Out.
It definitely did.
I hope in like around 3 years. I want
Like,
it to
I
be a
think-
little farther away, the VTubing peak, but I hope
Yeah.
it like peaks at around like 3 years.
Yeah.
Because then I could like actually get a name for myself in 3 years, and then in those 3 years I could then boom.
Mm.
But yeah, it's definitely like a big thing. I think Fillian's peaked early, and she's done all this like crazy stuff, which might actually sabotage everything else because people are like, "Oh wow, VTubing, all right, next." But if everyone comes in at once, it will be like a giant
Yeah.
thing. I'm not saying Fillian's bad. Fillian is great, and she's like found out how to take it on the YouTube platform, which is something a lot of people have done, or as famous as Fillian. But yeah, if you check Fillian's streamer like account versus her YouTube account, it's very different. That's why she never wins the Streamer of the Year awards, because they're mostly thinking about the actual traditional like streaming and how well the VTubers are doing at streaming. Fillian's great at streaming and then making clips of her streams and posting them.
Yeah. I think our Iron Mouse is a bit better at the Twitch.
Yeah, those sort of like Iron Mouse, sort of Hollow Live, Gura, rest in peace. It's Saba now. Saba! I'm just gonna yell Saba. Wait, guys, I have to show you this. Hold on, this is so cool. I have a.
Oh, no.
I could be Saba.
What?
Yeah,
What?
I could be Saba. Okay, pause the podcast for a second. For anyone who's watching the podcast version of this and not the video version of this, for context, I turned my VTuber avatar into Saba and started acting like Saba. I'm not a crazy person. Okay, unpausing.
Man.
I'm Saba. Hey, look at me. I'm all Saba. I'm Saba. 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 Ooh. High pitched voice, Saba. Ooh, I'm a fishy. I'm a fishy fish. Okay, anyway.
cat.
I'm a fishy
Fish.
I'm a fish. I'm not a cat. I have a fake license.
I don't know what I am. A
I know
cat
what I
or a
am.
fish.
Okay, anyway, back to me being me.
Yeah.
Oh
Be cool,
no.
be cool.
Wait,
Okay.
now I'm not sitting down. Let me make me sit down. Wait. Oh no, I can't sit down. Oh my gosh, I just died. Okay, I'm back. Oh, I died. Ah. Okay, we should really continue the podcast.
Yes.
This is so funny and stupid.
I'm getting distracted.
Oh, I am sitting down. Never mind. Oh, I'm sitting perfectly. Okay, never mind. It's fine. Okay. Yes. Now we're talking about burnout and mental health. Yay! Kill me now. Okay.
Ken, describe it. Go.
Describe it. Okay, so mental health. I'm a Pokemon now. Yeah. Can you subscribe? Subscribe. Speaking of subscribe, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Here, describe. So when we talk about burnout, we talk about excessive emotional, physical, or mental stress put on something. And when we talk about mental health, we're mostly talking about stuff like spending all your time only thinking about VTubing or only thinking about animating, and like getting lonely or isolated or not paranoia, but like anxiousness and all that stuff that can come with that. So like how to avoid that and which one will actually make you feel that. Okay. So with animation, there's like repetitive strain with long solo hours, and then there's a perfectionism trap as well, which Harry will talk about, and it can feel isolating and like lonely. Harry, talk! You're a Pokemon now.
Okay, here we go. So, burnout is, well, it's not so much talked about, but it is still a big thing in animation, as you are spending loads and loads of hours being isolated and drawing a circle over and over again, which is, on to the next thing, imperfection, or perfectionism. Which, Yeah, perfectionism type, which is basically just trying to draw a circle perfectly over and over and again. And I can say for myself, sadly, have done that before, which
There was
is not
entire
the funnest
streams
thing.
I've seen on YouTube of just people drawing circles to try to get good at it.
Yeah. And it can really demoralize you and put you in a sense that you're not really that good, and also that you don't feel happy about doing these things again, especially when you're burnt out.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And what animation burnt out and being burnt out in animations like. What about in VTubing?
I'm making an anteater right now, so I can't talk. I'm getting distracted again. Whoopsie daisy. Alright, let me make sure this anteater's on the
Oh.
couch properly so it's not gonna fall off. Okay.
You-
Now we have an anteater. That's actually really cute. I have so many animals with me now.
Oh yeah.
The anteater is actually not called an anteater. It's a tapir. Tapir.
Oh, it's that type of anteater. Okay.
Okay. On to me now.
Keep moving.
So there's a lot more burnout risk that can happen with VTubing and a lot more mental health risk that can happen with animation. So with VTubing, there's live performance burnout and the pressure to always be on, especially if you're debuting first thing in the first thing when you start and you get a good debut, then you get like 10,000 people, like 1,000 people easy. So it becomes like it becomes a very hard and annoying thing to do when you're like always on and there's like 1,000 people in your Discord all contacting you at once when you don't even know how to run a Discord server properly. So burnout can happen a lot. It can be very bad with VTubing, especially if you have like an explosive persona and you're VTubing and you're doing like content more than twice a week. I do it once a week. I normally like film myself once a week. I'm on holidays and like I've taken leave so I can take longer time now, but normally it's like, yeah. Dealing with chat trolls or Steam tech fails, those can like impact you a lot, especially when you're dealing with starving artists and stuff. Then you think everyone's a starving artist, and you don't trust anyone, and it means you can't build personal connections. It's really annoying. And also like people who are just there to annoy and just at your stream to hate you. That can also be very annoying. Stream tech fails are also very annoying because I have spent an entire 6-hour stream where I had a delay latency of my microphone by 1 second, which means I die, I respawn, I walk, die again, and I'll react to the first death. It's so annoying, and it means an entire 6 hours of people thinking you're crazy, and then me thinking they're crazy, even though I'm the crazy one. Okay, discussion prompts. What helps you avoid burnout in your chosen medium?
Well, should I go first?
Yeah, you should go first. You can go first.
Okay. Well, what I like to do is basically try and take breaks. Definitely take breaks, especially in animation, as you'd just be sitting here all day long, animating and drawing basically the same thing, as you're just sketching it out, and then you can go move on to the colors, which is pretty demoralizing. So what I like to do is take a walk, go outside. I know, first time.
Wow, outside. Crazy.
Yeah.
Gasp. He's going
Or
outside.
read a book.
You're going crazy. He's a mad lad.
Go to sleep.
Wow, what's
Anyone
that?
You know, sleep. Anyone?
Nah.
Just me. Okay.
I have a great
Okay.
sleeping schedule. I go to bed at like 9 o'clock. It's crazy.
I know. So what about you? What about your
What
schedule?
about me? What about me? Okay, so how I avoid burnout is two things. One, because I'm doing a particle physics course, I kind of know a lot about how insignificant we are, so I can kind of just think about that for a second and be like, wow, this is so dumb and insignificant, like my VTubing career, and like VTubing in total, and like just human life and psychology and computers and all that. And then I just like realize how dumb it is and then stop, which doesn't work with a lot of people, so try not to try that. My other strategy of just being like, just forgetting about it for a day or two, just being like, oh yeah, VTubing, that's a thing that I do, oh yeah, that's a hobby I have, and that's all I say about it. I don't think about anything else. I don't think about the viewers that are like hating me because I'm not responding to any of their messages. I don't think about anything. I'm just like, yeah, that's a thing, and that also might not help people, but it makes me feel a lot better. And just basically, like, just taking a break from it is what people do. But, like, how you take a break from it is happens in different ways, and no way is good, no way is bad. There's no right answer. Okay. Now the second thing. How do you balance work, school, friends, life with creative work?
Ooh,
You want to go first?
I like to
Or do you
schedule.
want me to go
Yeah.
first? You go first?
What I
Yeah.
like to do is I like to schedule things because it's really hard if you don't schedule it. But I don't really like write it down because that's if I lose the book or the paper, I'm going to go crazy. So I usually just keep it in the noggin. And I try and balance it out. So like I'd say, I'll like for example, so okay, so after this and this, I'll do some animating for like 2 hours. Then I'll go have dinner. Then I'll go probably at like 7 o'clock read a book or do an assignment or something like that, just to make like life easier when you're juggling with a job or being a student and animating. So yeah, that's what I do. What about you?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to do it. I'd say just taking priorities and like having certain priorities. That's the main thing that I do, is just like take some classes, take 3 hours out of your life to look and research priorities for like each day for like a week, and then you get to like find out, oh wait, and then it's basically like an instant schedule. You can be like, okay, I have all this stuff due, what should I do first? This, then this, then this, then this, and then you can just remain composure, and then this, and then you make an entire list in 5 seconds, and then if you forget that list, you can just think about the priorities again, like mind control yourself. Ooh, I'm trying to get my fingers to like go to my head like mind control. Ooh. And like you could just think about yourself and think about all the stuff you have to do, and then think about how you're gonna do it. Just like priorities, and do a whole bunch of courses in how to maintain composure when you're like realizing you haven't done 30 things, and how to do those without breaking composure. Okay. What's more exhausting, a week of animating or a week of VTubing? I would say
Well,
VTubing.
Yeah, that is pretty demoralizing. Like it depends if also depends if you're like non-stop animating too.
Yeah, if it's just like a straight week of one or the other, it would definitely be harder to do VTubing.
Yeah, because animating you can just put on calming music or look outside. But in VTubing you have to stay focused, read chat, you gotta do all these things, and
It's
it's
animating, you can touch grass, God forbid.
Oh yeah.
Now I have like grass next to my table that I can touch every 5 seconds. A little lavender pot, it has grass in it, so I just like touch it. It's fake, by the way, so like it's not. I don't get any like credit for doing it. Yeah. Yeah, I would probably say VTubing. It would kill you to do a week. I did 3 days, and I'm like, my legs were literally wobbling. Okay. Have you ever finished a stream or project and go, I'm never gonna do that again?
I don't think, not really. Like cause storytime animation, it's basically just telling stories about your life or certain parts of your life that you want to tell a story about. So if it was something like I'm gonna do like let me see if I can try doing like a anime style fight scene, and I really didn't like doing the process and all that stuff and how it came out. I would probably not do that again, but I haven't had that yet. And I say yet because it's going to happen. I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had many times, especially with like certain Minecraft mod packs where I've been like, oh wow, I should make a community server of this, everyone will love it. And then people have like came in and then like grenaded their friends, or like taken all the resources accidentally, or like cleared their hotbar by pressing F. And then I'm saying like F in chat guys for this guy dying, and then someone who's in the game will press F and then just clear their hotbar, and then the next hotbar will come up and they'll clear that, and it'll come up and they'll clear that. Whenever they clear their hotbar, they get another one. It's like how the game works. You get like stuff and then you clear it and you get new stuff, but when the new stuff regenerates, it takes away points from our team. So when they're spamming F, they just take away all the points, and you just like F in chat guys, and you just need to point me to go 20 to 10. It's like 20 to 10. 19 to 10, 18, 17, 16, 15, 20, 0 to 10. I don't even like going to 0. It's like, what? So, yeah, there's definitely times where I'll be like, haha, never doing that game again. Especially, so people are always warning me whenever I play Undertale. Because, like, there's all these routes you can go and all this stuff you can do. And people always spoil it for you and, like, get you to do stuff. And that happened a little bit, but not as much as, like, it happens with other people. And that's why I'm never going to do Undertale again, is because of just the pure amount of, like, people asking you to do stuff and wanting you to do stuff with it. Yeah, okay, so does VTubing mess with your self-image more than animating? I don't think so.
Ooh.
In concept,
No.
yes. If I think about, like, if I close my eyes right now, like, my eyes are closed. Me. Close. Oh no, I just opened WhatsApp. Close my eyes. My eyes are closed. If I was to, like, say, let's say, I'm gonna be a VTuber and I'm gonna, like, do all this. In concept, it seems like a really bad idea. In concept, it seems like you're gonna lose your identity, you're gonna lose everything about you. But there's just some magical force that's, like, you could differentiate yourself. It's a bit more like a brand. It's like, when you're an owner of a brand, it's not like you are the brand. Like, Bill Gates doesn't go around saying, I am Microsoft. I am Microsoft. Or it's like, Darth Vader doesn't go around saying, like, I am the Galactic Empire. He says, I am one with the Force, because he's, like, creepy and has all these, like, identity crisis issues. Anyway, we don't talk about that here. The thing is, it's like, it's a bit more of a brand than you, so you don't really get that, like, personality, sort of, who am I thing with VTubing. Do you get it with animation?
No, because it's a different character to yourself. I mean, it's similar, but it's not exactly you. So you can step away from that character and be like, well, I'm just going to enjoy my life as me.
Yeah.
Not as the character. That's not me. I am me. Me.
Yeah, I don't think you would really get, like, any identity crises with either.
Yeah.
Normally you get, like, identity crisis if you're, like, acting as someone else, like, in public and stuff.
Oh, like, remember the story of the guy that acted as the Joker?
No? What?
Oh, so in the original Joker movies, there was an actor. He had this huge identity crisis because he was, like, being the Joker.
So he actually turned into the Joker in real life.
Well, it's not. He didn't, like, fully turn into it. He ended up, like, dying because of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant, like, okay, wait, so if there's a Joker, where's the Batman? Who got an identity crisis and turned into Batman? Like, I wanna see this story. Who didn't tell me these two superheroes were real? I wanna, like, go to Batman and just scream, Gotham! Jesus. I wanna, like, have a baby and name a baby Gotham, and then throw the baby off a cliff, so if he saves it, it's like, for Gotham! Okay, anyway, back to the game. I mean, not the game. Yeah. The I'm used to streaming. The podcast. Back to the podcast. Okay, okay. Which one makes you feel lonelier, or are they both kind of isolating?
Well, I think both of them, like, are somewhat isolating, but I think animating is a lot more.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a live chat there to talk to you and sometimes compliment you. You're just sitting there hoping that they like it.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, like, with VTubing, it's a little more, like, you have people you're talking to as you're doing this. They might not be next to you, but you still have people you can talk to, and you are talking to. So it's, like, I would say, no. It's more animation, because you don't actually talk to anyone until after the video, and that's for a small amount of time. And it's not actually talking, that's just texting them too. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say animation. What's your go-to to reset after creative burnout?
Doodling.
Yeah.
Drawing, like in like a notebook, or like just making up ideas of what to do.
Yeah, for a creative burnout, I would say it would definitely be like just find ideas or watch YouTube videos on it to try to find out like new creative things. And the next step, like the next question is what helps you recharge creatively, which is basically just the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically it. So we have talked about the differences between like animation versus VTubing, the similarities, and which one you should do, depending on you. So basically, animation is for people who like are okay being basically introverts, people who are okay being isolated for long amounts of time, people who don't want a lot of hate on their channel, because I don't think animators get a lot of hate, and for people who are like, well, Harry, you say it.
Oh yeah, basically animating's for introverted people with also people with that don't really want hate, because like unless you're a very big animator, you're not really gonna get any hate. You're gonna get that one guy that just sits in his room all day and trolls people.
I don't like your channel.
Yeah.
On frame 3851, your pixel was off for your eye.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically all you're gonna get. So yeah, you if you don't want hate and you like being by yourself and being creative, and also you like the process of drawing and creating,
you have the
these really
willpower
cool
too. You need the willpower.
Oh, and also you gotta have
you gotta have like heaps of that.
Like you need that. Like you need to sit in your room on days on end.
Need.
What about for VTubing?
Yeah, so for VTubing, it's more of like an extroverted sort of techie if you need to be, but sometimes you can do it without being techie if you have like some techie friends or fun people. So extroverted, kind of techie, just fun, quirky people who want to have a good time. I think that's basically what VTubing is about. It's like a lot of people who are furries are VTubers. I've seen a lot of people who are furries who are VTubers. I myself might or might not be one. I am not confirming or denying. But yes, because a lot of people watch this who I don't want to know how I have a fursuit. But yes, like it's just for fun, quirky people who want to have a great time, and a lot of VTubers like are there to just have fun and like be dumb with friends. Because basically all VTubing is just being dumb with friends, and it's really fun.
Dumb with friends.
Dumb with friends. Yay. Ooh, dumb with friends.
Yeah, well.
Alright,
So,
that kind of concludes
should we
everything.
wrap it up?
Yes. So, yeah, we've talked
you.
about the creative expression, types of animation, time investment, personality and audience engagement, cost and gear, skill development and career growth, and burnout and mental health. Woo!
Yay! Well, should you say thank you for watching, or should I?
We should both at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
1.
Thank you for watching! Yay! Oh my god, Harry's dying. Thank you guys. Bye! Peace.
Bye.
Don't forget to watch episode 1 and hopefully other episodes that are to come.